What's up, guys? Chris over here at Cover 7. Hey, real quickly, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed. It goes a long ways on a small channel like mine. I don't claim to be a college football expert or analyst or know everything. I just happen to love college football. My favorite team happens to be the Huskers. I got no skin in this game, and I'm just going to try to give you my most unbiased opinion here at the end. So this should be a good game. We got Missouri going on the road, catching 2 points at Auburn. The over-under set to 43.5. Mizzou 5-1 on the year. The only loss was the last week to Bama, 27-24. I watched that whole entire game, and that was a really good football game. Mizzou actually had an opportunity at the end to tie that thing up. It didn't happen. I've been super impressed with Eli Drinkowitz in his entire time here at Mizzou. I didn't know how he would do there. He's done a really, really good job. I mean, all the guy does is win 9 or 10 games a year. And I've been really high on Mizzou to start the season. I know the schedule isn't as brutal as some of the other teams in the SEC, but regardless, the SEC is a tough conference, no doubt about it. Look, quarterback, and this guy's been a major factor here for Mizzou in this offense. They're led by Penn State transfer Bo Pribula. The numbers, they're pretty decent this year. I'm not going to say great. He's struggled at times as well. But against Bama, he was 16-28 for only 162 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and then the 2 big interceptions. Running back Ahmed Hardy, I love this kid, one of my favorite backs in the country. I got to give credit here where credit's due to Bama's run defense. They kind of shut this guy down. He had 12 carries for just 52 yards. He was averaging, coming into that game, 7.5 yards per carry, which is crazy on the season. But I have to ask this question if you're a Missouri fan. Where was Kevin Coleman Jr.? This kid's really good. Where the hell was he that game? Dude had 1 catch for 2 yards. He's Mizzou's leading pass catcher. Marcus Johnson, where was this dude at? He didn't do much either in this game. Mizzou really lacked the big plays in the passing game outside that first initial drive where Pribula hit, I think it was Norfleet, the tight end down the sideline. He made a nice catch, made a good run after the catch for a touchdown, but they just didn't have many big plays in this game. I know Bama's a really good team, and they have a pretty good defense that's definitely improving week to week. On the year, though, Missouri's offense, they grade out pretty good. We know we know Auburn has a really good defense, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Here's the ranks, though, offensively for Mizzou on the season. They're 7th in the country in total offense. They're 6th in the country in rushing yards per game. They're middle of the pack when it comes to passing yards per game. And then Mizzou, get this, is averaging 41.7 points per game, which is 10th best in the nation. So the offense overall on paper looks really, really good. On the other side of the ball, I've been really impressed with defensive coordinator Corey Batoon. This guy's a really good DC. It'll be interesting to see if he stays there, if he doesn't maybe take a potential coaching job down the road here. Here's the ranks, though, thus far for the Mizzou defense. They're 2nd in total yards per game given up. They're 9th in passing yards allowed, 2nd in rushing yards allowed, 17th in points per game allowed with just 16.8. Again, on paper, I understand games aren't played on paper. We're halfway through the season here. Mizzou, though, looking like one of the better defenses in the country. On the other side of the ball here, which would be Auburn, and I know Auburn fans and I don't have the best relationship, and I think they take it the wrong way sometimes. Look, I don't know what's going on with Auburn, and I'm going to have to go on a little bit of a rant here, and it's not because I hate Auburn for no particular reason. Look, they just should be better. I mentioned before the show started off, I'm a Nebraska fan. I know what your fan base expects. It's really no different over here at Nebraska. Auburn, a majority of my lifetime, like Florida, like Nebraska, when I was younger especially, was an elite program, right? I'll be 100% honest, man. Hugh Freeze just isn't the answer at head coach. I've been saying this the day he was hired. I don't like the guy. And I don't think he knows what he's doing here at a program like this. I really don't. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. These are facts. He is 14-17 in his time at Auburn. I know it's the SEC. I know it's the toughest conference in America. I get all that. And it's hard to win down there. But this is Auburn football we're talking about, and it's got to get better. And it hasn't been this year. They're 3-3. They started off 3-0, but they've lost their last three games to actual competition here, to Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and then Georgia last week, 20-10. It's not going to get any easier going forward. Mizzou, obviously, this week is not an easy team to play. They're a very good team. What's been the problem, though, for Hugh Freeze and Auburn? The offense. It's atrocious. Jackson Arnold, he played at OU last year, played terrible at times, wasn't all his fault. Obviously transferred over to Auburn this season. I didn't know how this was going to work out, and it hasn't worked out good so far. He does take probably too much of the blame this season, but that's what you get when you're the quarterback, right? You get all the credit when you win. You take a lot of blame when you lose. But he was supposed to be the guy. Hugh Freeze's guy, right? Numbers are not great either this year. Get this. He's only got 983 yards passing. He's got a 64.2% completion percentage. His average depth of completion is only 6 yards. That's super low. It's a lot of dinking and dunking. He's only got 5 touchdowns through the air. Now, he hasn't turned the ball over, which is great. I do give him props there because that plagued him a little bit last year at OU. But running back, Jeremiah Cobb, I believe this guy's a stud. I think he's a really good running back. It's not like Auburn is short on talent. That's the other issue I have with Hugh Freeze. You got a ton of talent walking around here. Cobb has got good numbers, though. 453 yards on the season, averaging north of 6 yards per carry to go along with 4 touchdowns. Now, Jackson Arnold is your second leading rusher with 247 yards. Guy's got 83 carries this year. I understand when he takes off and makes plays with his legs. That counts as a carry. I get all that. But I don't like your quarterback running that much, right? He's got 6 touchdowns rushing. Great. But this falls on the O-line here in particular, and it's strange to me that this O-line graded out to start the season as one of the best O-lines, or should be one of the best O-lines in the country this season. They've looked like dog shit. I'm just going to say it. Run blocking, pass blocking, they're not any good, and I don't know what's going on there. The wide receiver room, and this just eats me alive here as a college football fan, and this is where I get kind of upset. Cam Coleman, in my opinion, might be the best receiver in the country. I know everybody talks about Jeremiah Smith. I love Jeremiah Smith. I think he's great. He's going to be a lottery pick, hands down, when he decides to leave from Ohio State. Cam Coleman is just as talented, in my opinion, and may be more talented as far as like raw athletic ability. This guy's a freak, 6'3". He's 205, was a 5-star out of high school. He was the number 5 overall recruit in 2024. He's only got 24 catches this season for 305 yards and just 2 touchdowns. Opposite of him, you got Eric Singleton Jr. Saw him at Georgia Tech. Dude was an elite athlete, pretty damn good receiver. He's only got 30 catches for 279 yards and 2 scores. These two, in my opinion, are one of the best 1-2 combos, or should be, in the country. I don't understand what's going on here, why they can't get the ball to him. I know some of the issues, the O-line, like I mentioned. Some of it, I think, is Arnold's ability to read a defense or get the ball out to the right players. But this has just been bad all around. And if you guys think I'm just harping on, Auburn here, check out the ranks. I mean, these are facts. They're 109th in the country in total offense. They are 118th in the country in passing offense, which is a crime. They're top 60th in rushing yards per game. They average 164, which isn't bad at all. But they're also horrible in protecting the quarterback, like I mentioned, Jackson Arnold. He's been sacked 21 times. 21. That's not going to get it done. They did, though, one positive, they did only allow 1 sack last week to Georgia, which is good. Georgia doesn't really get to the quarterback, though. Mizzou is definitely better at that. And then on the defensive side of the ball, and these ranks are really way more impressive, considering the fact that Auburn's defense is on the field 75% of the time. The ranks on the year for the Auburn defense, which is uber talented and usually is, they're 29th best in the country in yards given up per game, bottom half in the country in passing yards given up during the season. They are great at stopping the run. They're actually 11th in the country against the run, which is really, really, really good. Auburn, believe it or not, though, this defense only gives up 17 points per game. That's crazy for a unit that's on the field a ton. So I got to give credit where credit's due there with Auburn's defense. Overall, my prediction, guys, here, I think this is a must-win game for Hugh Freeze and Auburn. I do. I know it's early in the season, midway through the season, whatever you want to say here. I understand the schedule has been hard, but they got to find a way to win this game. For me, unfortunately, though, I have zero faith in this offense and Hugh Freeze. I mean, I'm just basing this off of the facts and what I've seen so far. Yes, these teams are good that they've played, but Auburn was supposed to be an 8 or 9 win team this season. Okay, let's remember that. Mizzou, on the other hand, is coming off a super close game to Bama. Bama, in my opinion, is one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. They played them super tough. They did. I got to give props where props are due with Missouri. So why I lean Missouri here is they got the much better offense here. Mizzou does have a good defense too, as Auburn does, but Missouri, hands down, way better offense than Auburn's right now, so I got to give them the edge here. I think this will be a lower scoring game. I think this will be a game in the fourth quarter, but give me Mizzou 24, Auburn 17 here. With that being said, guys, if you could give this a like, Please, it truly helps the channel out. Like I said, to start the show, it's completely free. Doesn't cost you anything, takes no time. I would greatly appreciate that. With that being said, guys, I got a couple more videos coming out this week. It's been a really busy week over here. There's a lot of great matchups in college football, which I love, including this one. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you next time.